Hello everyone, welcome to Next Gen AI Academy. In this video, we are going to learn about control statement. Control statement is nothing but decision making statement. Even in our day-to-day life, everything we will approach with multiple solutions. If something is not happening, we will go with the plan B. Even if plan B is not working, then we will move on to the plan C. Like that, we will be having many alternative plans, no? Same way we can do it using the Java. And the best part about this topic is whatever you're learning in the control statement, it is a common explanation for all the programming language. It means if you completed in Java, the same explanation for Python or C Sharp or whatever the programming language. Only thing that syntax will vary. The first control statement is if statement. We can classify the if statement into four categories: if statement, if else if ladder, and a nested if. So based on our requirement, we can choose any one of the statement. And always remember the if statement checks for the Boolean condition, that is true or false. Let's do coding for each type of if statement. So the first step is we have to create the class. Let me name as if statement types, then public static void main, and finish. First one, if statement. The example for this particular type, okay, let's consider you want to enter an age. So based on your age, the output will display it's a major. First step, let me initialize the variable age equal to 21. The first type is if statement. If age is greater than or equal to 18, then curly braces enter. Within this, you have to enter the code. If true, this code will be executed. Let me display like output message age variable concatenating is a major age. When we execute this program, the age value will be 21, and we know very well 21 is greater than equal to 18. So this is a true. When this condition is true, then the code inside this particular curly braces will be executed. Here it will display 21 is a major age. So that's about the if statement. Let me execute and show you. Run, and you can see here 21 is a major age. Okay, let me put some other value. It's a positive scenario. 25 is a major age. And here we are hard coding the value. In the previous video, we learned how to give the input during the runtime. That is, create the scanner object. Let's try to implement from now. Scanner and the object name equal to new keyword scanner system.in semicolon, and we have to import the Java util. Now here, instead of hard coding, what we can do is this object name dot next int semicolon, and it is always a good practice to include this particular line so that we will know whether the program is executing or not. So when we execute now, enter the age. Okay, let's put 67. 67 is a major age. What if we enter a value which is less than 18? Let me put 16 and enter. There is no output because this particular statement inside this curly braces will execute only if this condition is true. So that is about the if statement. When you look into this flowchart for if statement, It is starting and checking for the condition, and if this condition is true, then only the code is executed, the conditional code. In our example, it will display the age is major or not. In case if condition is false, the program will exit this particular if statement. So that's the first type. The second type is if else statement. Here we are going to make a small modification. In if, the code will be executed only if it is true, no. But now we can also include additional code, that is else code, and this else code will be executed if condition is false. So let's move back to our example. If we enter any value less than 18, it will not execute, but I want to display some message saying this age is minor age. If that is the requirement, then you can include else statement, curly braces, enter. Now this else statement will be executed if the condition is false. What to display here? If it is false, then it will display it is a age is a minor age. Let's execute. Enter the age 15, enter. Now age is minor. What exactly happened here is it came and checked whether 15 is greater than or equal to 18. It's a false condition. When it is false, the execution moved to the else statement. So whatever the code available inside this else statement, it will execute. In our example, it will display 15 is a minor age. So it's a very simple one to remember. So that is what explained as a flowchart here. We are done with if statement, if else statement. Now the third one is if else if ladder. There will be some scenarios like we need multiple conditions to check. Instead of if and else, we want to check for multiple statement. For that, we have an option called if else if ladder. Let's see with the program. Grade the students based on the mark, like pass mark, fail mark, good mark, or merit mark, something like that. Enter the student's mark, and it is an integer. Marks equal to scn dot next int. Now we can able to get student's mark during runtime. First step is if marks equal to 35, I can say that marks is just pass marks. So 35 is just a pass marks. Okay, the first condition, and we can have n number of condition using else if. Now the next condition, if marks greater than 35, now comes the AND operator, and marks less than 90. If any students falls under these two criteria, if both the conditions are true, then we will say that good marks. Else if one more condition, marks greater than 90, then I can say is merit marks. Then if by chance if marks are not within this range, then final condition else statement, I will say that as fail marks. Let's try to execute this program. If we want, we can comment this program also. For that, source add block comment, so that during runtime this particular line will not be executed. Let's run it. Enter the student's mark. Okay, 78. 78 is a good marks. Okay, let me enter some value greater than 90. Then 92 is merit marks. Okay, what about 35? 35 is a just pass, and any value less than 35, it is a fail marks. So exactly what's happening here is, first when you enter the value, that will be saved to marks variable. Then it's trying to check for the first condition whether this is equivalent to 35. If it is true, then this will be executed. No, this is not true, then it will check for the else if, and it is checking whether this and both the conditions are true. Then if it is a true, then this statement will be executed. Okay, let's consider that as a false, then it will move to the next else if. Like this, in real time scenario, we can have n number of else if statement. If all the statements are false, then by default it will execute else statement. In our example, I made 35 marks as fail marks. So that's what mentioned here in the flow chart. It will check for the multiple condition. Whichever the condition true, that particular statement it will execute. If all the conditions are false, and finally the else block will be executed. Now the last one, nested if. Nested if means within one if we have another if. So that's called nested if. Let's do a program using nested if to check whether the number is positive, negative or 0. First step, enter the number, then it's an int number, integer, num equal to scn dot next int. Okay, let's do if num is greater than 0, then I can say output message as it's a positive number. So it's a well known thing. If it is less than 0, I can say a negative number, but we have another condition to check for 0. So else, so within one if statement, we are trying to include one more if, that is called nested if. Within one if and another if num is less than 0, then the output message is it is a negative number, else it is a 0. When we execute this program, if the number is positive, then this particular statement it will execute. By chance, if the number is less than 0, it will move on to the else statement. Inside the else statement, we have if condition. This is called nested if. Then it will check whether the number is less than 0. It's a negative number. In case if number is not less than 0, then the third condition, it is 0. We will run this program, enter the number, positive scenario, it is a positive number. Maybe let me put some number minus 25, it is a negative number. What if someone enters 0? It's a 0. This is called nested if statement. Based on the requirement, we have to choose the respective one. Hope you got a good clarity about this topic. That's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.